So I bought this Biesemeyer fence system, and I intend to retrofit it to my table saw. So maybe if I'm productive tomorrow, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm taking this off. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to move these wheels over there. I'm going to take these wheels and move them over there. And my table saw cart will be reduced to this length. And then I'll figure out how to put that Biesemeyer fence on here. Fun stuff here. So, a recap on what has occurred. I replaced the shims in the saw. I put a new blade in the saw and I greased up everything in there. That is all new. So now it slides up and down extremely well. This is the best it's been since ever. It's great. And I also replaced this switch because the switch went out. Luckily I found a couple new ones on eBay. Now, what is this we've got here? I am attempting to retrofit a Vega professional Biesemeyer style fence to this saw, which may be total overkill, but I'm just going to see if it can work. I bought this some time ago thinking I would make it as part of a custom table saw cart build. And what I may need to do, at first I got hopeful because it comes with these plates that are designed to hold this rail in place. You see these plates, and it turns out that their alignment with the bottom of the existing aluminum rails for the Ryobi is just about right where it needs to be. I mean, it's if you look here, you can see that, you know, it's flush down there and it's flush up here, so that's interesting. However, these secondary brackets that are designed to help support this thing are not well positioned. The height seems to be about right, which indicates to me that Ryobi was thinking that there's a typical depth from the top surface of the saw down to where you would mount things, and it seems to be consistent with the assumptions for the Vega Biesemeyer fence. But the depth here is not quite right. See, it's cutting into the dimension of the aluminum channel for the saw. So I was going to try to use the existing saw channels, the aluminum brackets here for the saw. And the reason why is because I can mount my router table in them. I might still be able to do that, but I got to think this one through a little. So the idea here is to be able to unscrew this panel. So I've got access to these screws and then one through there, and same on this side. And then these wings support the tube that the Biesemeyer fence clamps onto, and then this is on the rear rail that it rests on. You can kind of see there's a little knob on the end of that. It's basically like a plastic knob that sort of rests on that rail, and that needs to sit back there. This is the general idea. So the wings are there, supports the tube. There's going to be another piece here to support it. And it's pretty long. I'm going to keep it at that length. because my desire has always been to have 48 inches of clearance on that side of the blade. So what that means I need to do is this scale, there's a measurement scale along the tube here for the fence. I want to be able to have this marker line up with 0 when I've got that against the blade, which means I have to offset the whole thing that way. So even though I just cut some length off the cart, it's still going to be long on top because of the fence. So one thing I like about these kinds of fences is that you can put your push sticks, and I'm going to put my remote switch for my dust collector there, and maybe even gloves, just because it's big. Right now, it's basically functional. None of these are fixed in place. They're just at the level that they need to be, and I will make some adjustments. Here's the rundown. Biesemeyer fence on a Ryobi BT3100. This is I rigged this fence up with basically 3 buttresses to hold it and spaced out appropriately. The front rail is a round piece of stainless steel with its own measurement marking on it. And then the rear piece is just this rail that it rides along top of. I do have a clamp down mechanism for it, but I don't really need that right now. Here's how the fence slides really well. It's got the measurement indicator. Right now I've got it spaced out at 48 inches, which is awesome. This is what I really wanted, was 48 inches of cut from there to there, such that I could rip 4x8 sheets of plywood sideways if I wanted to. Probably will rarely do that, but there she goes. She slides really well, right up against the blade. And look at that, I'm right on 0. I'm super stoked about that. I am super stoked. The fence is a Vega Professional. I got this on Amazon. Had really good reviews. One thing I'm excited about with a Biesemeyer style fence, besides the fact that it's super stable, is the fact that it's so wide. This means that I can take my push sticks and put them up there. I can have my remote control for my dust collector up there, and I can make jigs for it, like a vacuum attachment for my router table. I can run my router here in the old Ryobi configuration if I want to, though I do intend to either put a router lift of my own design here or here. And there you go. I took off that side of the cart because I had storage for tools under there that I never use, and I'm getting to a point where I'm just getting rid of the containers that hold tools like sanders and drills and stuff like that, because I want to just be able to access them and use them. And now that I've installed a French cleat system up here, I'm going to make little holders for those tools. So there's no point in wheeling the tools around on a cart. You're moving stationary objects around that you don't use that much. Same with the dovetail jig, so I took that off. This serves a bunch of purposes. So this used to be a multi-purpose kind of workbench, because I would use my table saw surface as a workbench. I wanted to get away from doing that, which is why I built Mega Bench. But in removing that side of the table saw cart, I also removed a set of drawers that used to be right next here, which housed a lot of things like drill bits and drill attachments, because I was doing a lot of my Craig jig drilling over here, and now I do most of it in Mega Bench. So I moved that. This holds all of my table saw accessories like push sticks, extra blades, dado set, things like that. Here are more table saw tools and accessories, things like 0 clearance throats and things like that. Here are, down here I've got router bits. And down here, more router attachments, mostly for my dovetail jig, which will eventually get reconfigured. Since redoing this, a lot of these are empty, but they could be here for other storage things. Up in this top drawer I have extra pieces for the Biesemeyer table saw fence conversion that I just did, just in case this ever comes off of here and goes onto a more robust saw like a cabinet saw. If I ever upgrade my table saw, it'll be to a saw stop because I want that safety piece of that. But for now, this Ryobi is doing great. It's the saw that got me into furniture building. It's the saw that continues to serve me today. I will put I'll put a router station here. Right now I can make that work with the existing Ryobi attachments, and I can mount this router underneath there just like I used to before. No problem, I can run it today that way. But I want to build a router lift for here, which might involve some CNC stuff. So there it is, that's the cart. I have the old, this is the old fence for the Ryobi table saw, which I can still use. I can take this off and use this, so I keep that there. And this is the container for my router, which I really don't need anymore. I might as well get rid of it. So thanks again for watching. I'm Davian Hill. This is my channel, Solve Fix Build. If you like what I'm doing and you like my other projects, check out my other videos. Hit the like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you watching. Have a great day.